Coast Spotlight, shedding light on the musical artists of the East Coast of Canada. A live production aimed at discovering the artists behind the music, their lives, their careers, their likes, their dislikes, and of course, some quirky anecdotes from their journey through a musical life. Live from the studios of Tellil Community Television on beautiful Almadam off the east coast of Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, East Coast Spotlight with your host, Jerry Sampson.
Hi everyone, I'm Jerry Sampson and I'm your host for East Coast Spotlight. First of all, I'd like to wish a warm welcome to you, our studio audience, and to wish a special welcome to our viewing audience. Come on into the shed, boys, we got the rum going, and we were supposed to get some beer, but John Perry didn't bring it. So we're SOL for beer. But anyway, as you can tell, our shed is pretty well all geared up, and we're ready to go. We're going to have a fun night. But what we want to start with is the fact of, in the early 50s, when Booth Fisheries started a fish plant in Petit de Gras, along with that fish plant came some new vessels, fishing vessels. Dauntless Star, which became eventually renamed the Red Diamond 5, along with the Northeaster, which was again renamed the Red Diamond 7, along with two small boats, one called the Pink Star and the other one called the Beothuk. Some people pronounce it Beothuk, but it's not. That's not the right way to pronounce it. It's Beothuk. Right, Jean? I got a friend of mine, that's how she pronounces it. But anyway, in the early 50s, again, these boats came in, and along with the boats came a tremendous amount of knowledge, and these were the Newfoundlanders that came to Almadam. These people came in, they settled here, they married local girls, they built homes and raised families. And a lot of them are still around with us today. People like Max Party, Gordon Party, Levi Harris, John Perry, Robert Miles, Stan Savory. But not only that, but in that area, or in that time, a lot of families moved down. And we're very, very fortunate tonight to have a son, or three sons, I should say, of a captain, Captain Jim Barnes, that came down from Arbor Mills in Newfoundland. And he took his family down, and he was the captain on the Red Diamond 2. And if you're looking back of me, there's a picture of the Red Diamond 2. But along with them came his brother also, Morris Barnes, and a brother-in-law by the name of Sam Rideout, and his wife, Edith. And they all brought their families, and today all these people are still here. Their grandchildren are here, and it's a real good time for us to celebrate the history that we have with Newfoundlanders. From the Red Diamond fleet, Booth Fisheries went to a group of trawlers that were built over in Lausanne, Quebec. The Rose Gordon, the Patlander, the Jean and Helen Fletcher. What else do I have here?
The Hans Spencer.
The Hans Spencer and George Kentler. And if you looking back at me, there's we have a model of the George Kentler, and that belongs to Mr. Jollymore over there, who was kind enough to bring it into us. So, anyway, to start the evening off this evening, we're very fortunate to have with us a group of people that I've known for quite a while. We have over on my extreme right, I think that's my right, the son of Mr. Jim Barnes, Rex Barnes. And on my immediate right, a gentleman that's no stranger to any one of us here, Mr. Leon LeBlanc.
Thank you.
And in back of Leon, we have Mr. Wayne Boudreau, who's going to accompany us on bass. And on my immediate left, we have a gentleman, that, again, that's no stranger to music here on the island, Mr. Jacques Martel. And in back of Jacques, we have Alex, better known as Jaws First Rock. And over on my extreme left, we have a fella from across the harbour. Not from Cape Hogan. It's not from Cape Hogan. He's from across the strait, from Cancel. We have Mr. Bill Richards. So welcome, guys. And we're going to open our show tonight with Mr. LeBlanc, and he's going to do 2 songs for us. He's going to do Newfoundland Blessing and Heading Home. Mr. LeBlanc, you're on.
You must have known my father, mister. I feel the cold wind blowing from the far Atlantic Sea. I feel the warmth that's hard to understand. Guess it comes from knowing there's a song within me, singing out a blessing to old Newfoundland. May the sun always shine on your wide wooded mountain. May the sea beat as one with your rugged shores alone. May the doors of your home always be open, and may God's hands guide your boats back home. And see the long-range mountain climbing to the sky. Humber's river flowing, dark, cold, and free. Daisies going wild on the Bombay Hill. Wave a Newfoundland blessing on me. And may the sun always shine on your wide wooded mountain. May the sea beat as one with your rugged hearts alone. May the doors of your home always be open, and may God's hand guide your boats back home. See the fishing boat glide neath the blue harbor sky. Seagulls squeak from the rocks to the sea. Sunset gleams on a fisherman's eye. Wave that Newfoundland blessing on me. And may the sun always shine on your wide wooded mountain. May the sea beat as one with your rugged hearts alone. May the doors of your home always be open, and may God's hand guide your boats back home. And may God's hands guide your boats back home.
Say wonderful, Minotaur. Say wonderful. Say wonderful.
My next tune, my good friends, it's called Heading Home. It reflects Newfoundland again, and please do sing along. Open D, gentlemen. I gotta get the frogs out of there. Many years have gone by since I left my Fortune Bay home, full of dreams and ambition. As a young man, I wanted to roam. But now things are different. I'm older and wiser, I guess. And I love to return to my homeland that I love the best. My friends and relations, I miss them more every day. In my dreams I go back to my childhood in old Fortune Bay. I see a picture of Iron Skull, it brings a tear to my eye. For I know she stands guard over the birthplace of this Newfie boy. as I leave Bishop Hall, headed down Baydesquire Road. There's a lump in my throat, son, 'cause I know I'm heading home. And when I reach St. Jacques, I know everything is alright. I got 2 miles to go, and I'll be in Ballorem tonight. Mr. Rex Barnes. The old fisherman's lodge is now a modern-day home. The roads, they are paved, and the old fishing schooners are gone. The old church looks the same as it did when I sang in the choir. The Orange Lounge gave us music to the lounge on the government wharf. The dories make way for the faster modern speedboat. As I walk around town, I see no sheep, cows, or goats. The steamers don't call here, it's a thing of the past. Now it's home phone visits, things are changing so fast. My memories may fail me, but I feel like a king when I say I'm a proud Newfoundlander from Ballorem down in Old Fortune Bay. As I leave Bishop Hall, headed down Baydesquire Road, there's a lump in my throat, son, 'cause I know I'm heading home. And when I reach St. Jacques, I know everything is alright. I got 2 miles to go, and I'll be in Ballorem tonight. Yes, 2 miles to go, and I'll be in Ballorem tonight.
Wow. Woo.
Thank you very much.
Great job, buddy.
Away we go.
Away we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Jacques is
Stop.
going to sing us Jacques from St. Jacques.
Yeah, right.
Newfoundland.
Okay,
Jacques is going to sing us a couple of songs. He's going to sing The Isle of Newfoundland and Jack Was Every Inch a Sailor. Take it away.
Now Jack was every inch a sailor, 25 years away. Jack was every inch a sailor. He was born upon this bright blue sea. Now 25 or 30 years when Jack first saw the light, he came into the squirrel one dark and stormy night. He's born upon the ship as he was flying to 25 or 30 miles southeast of Buckaroo. Now Jack was every inch a sailor, 25 years away. Jack was every inch a sailor. He was born upon the bright blue sea. Now when Jack grew up to be a man, he went to Labrador. He fished in Indian harbors where his father fished before. On his return in the fog, he met up with a gale. Well, Jack was swept all overboard and swallowed by a whale. Now Jack was every inch a sailor, 25 years away. Jack was every inch a sailor. He was born upon the bright blue sea.
Yeah.
That went straight to Baffiney Bay at 90 knots an hour. And every time she threw a spray, she turned it into a shower. Then Jack went on to himself, I'll see what it's about. Well, he took that whale by the tail and turned her inside out. Now Jack was every inch a sailor, 25 years away. Jack was every inch a sailor. He was born upon the bright blue sea.
Yeah.
He was born upon the bright blue sea. Woo! Thank you.
Say wonderful.
Oh, yeah. Okay, wait.
Here we go.
In the cold Canadian waters, not from the coast of Maine, there's an island called Newfoundland, swept by snow, wind, and rain. On this island there's a village, and its custom and its ways. A little town called Carmenville, the home of childhood days. Those childhood days were something carefree all the time. There's a girl in every story, and you know there's one in mine. Well, she broke my heart so often that it stayed her little soul. That's the reason I left home and can't go back no more. Where the people make a living on the land and on the sea, there are people on the island that mean the world to me. If I wished I had the power to change the course of time, to live again in Newfoundland, the home of childhood time. Well, I like to watch the sailboats as they glide along the bay, and again to see the farmers sow the seeds and cut the hay. On this island there's no strangers, everybody is a friend. That little isle of Newfoundland I'd love to see again, where the people make a living on the land and on the sea. There are people on the island that mean the world to me. I wish I had the power to change the course of time, to live again in Newfoundland, the home of childhood time, and to live again in Newfoundland, my home of showtime. Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Martel. Not bad for an Acadian.
Wow. That's awesome. Now, as you know, in a lot of cases around this area, Canso had a close relationship with Petit de Gras because a lot of times I remember that some of the vessels would go into Canso or couldn't go into Canso and they'd come into Petit de Gras for refuge. So I would imagine that people of Canso have very strong ties to Newfoundlander also, so because of the National Sea Products. But anyway, the gentleman from across the harbour, Mr. Bill Richards, is going to do two songs for us. He's going to do Logie Bay and Proud to be a Newfoundlander. Take it away, Mr.
Ye lady and the gentleman, I pray to lend an ear, while I locate the resident of a lovely charmed affair. The curling of her low locks first stole my heart away, and her place of habitation is down in Logie Bay. It was on a summer's eve then this little place I found. I met her aged father, who did me sore compound, saying, if you address my daughter, I'll send her far away, and I never will return again while you're in Logie Bay. How could you be so cruel as to part me from my love? Her tender heart beats in her breast as constant as a dove. Oh, Venus, you were so fair for the lovely month of May. May heaven above shower down its love on the star of Logie Bay. 'Twas on the very next morning I went to St. John's Town, engaged her for a passage on a vessel outward bound. He robbed me of my heart's delight and sent her far away, and left me here downhearted for the star of Logie Bay. And now I'll go a-roving, I can no longer stay. I'll search the whole world over and every country. I'll search in vain through France and Spain, likewise America, and I will cite my heart's delight, the star of Logie Bay. And now conclude and finish the truth to you I'll tell. Between Torbay and Outer Cove, for this my love did dwell. The finest girl ever graced our isle, and everyone they say, may heaven above shower down its love on the star of Logie Bay.
How you doing now, Bill? Doing okay?
Good.
Good. That's great. Don't take a heart attack, boy.
The old man was pacing the floor up and down, hiding his tears with his head hanging down. His lad son was packing a suitcase to go and search up a rainbow in a big pot of gold. Said, son, you'll see places and stranges of things, cross many bridges before I see you again. So write to your mama and God bless her soul. Be proud you're a Newfie wherever you go. Don't try to be someone that no one can touch. You'll always help someone who's down on their luck. If you find a good woman and you give her your love, be proud of your wages and thank God above. Son, money means nothing to a man without friends. Smile when you lose, don't brag when you win. Ain't own a man nothing and he reaches too high. Be happy, be careful, I love you, goodbye. Said, son, you'll see places and stranges of things, cross many bridges before I see you again. So write to your mama and God bless her soul. Be proud you're a Newfie wherever you go. Be proud you're a Newfie wherever you go.
Awesome, Bill. Great job. The next two songs are going to be done by me. Anyway, the first song is it's a Roy Payne song. It's called Yellow Pistholes in the Snow. So, if you know the song, help me. On D. You ready? I grew up on
On what? On D. Yeah, it's okay. I'm slow.
You ready? I grew up on stories my grandfather told. The sound of that old rocking chair, the smell of the fire from that wood-burning stove. Well, I first tasted Blue Ribbon beer, the northern light dancing way up in the sky, castles I built in the snow. It's hard to believe that old memory strung way back to a long time ago. Charlie Butt's corner store burned to the ground. I can still hear them bottles explode. Tom married Beanie and I ran away. I was jealous of her, I suppose. Hopalong Cassidy Saturday night would find me right in the front row. And since the shot, compliments off Roy Burridge's traveling show. Paint me a picture of old memories that flash back a lifetime ago, and follow them lines through this pencil of mine, and them yellow pistholes in the snow. The fish, they were plenty, too many to count. The water's as blue as the sky. I snared my first rabbit when I was 11, and after I ate him, I cried. People were funny, but no one was queer, and me, I was a son of a gun. Kids way back then were all devil skin, but nobody killed anyone. Made me a picture of old memories that flash back a lifetime ago, and followed in lines through this pencil of line, and them yellow pistols in the snow, and them yellow pistols in the snow. Thank you. Barb and Gary, if you're watching, Barb, that's for you. Anyway, this next song that I'm going to do is a Seaman song, and I love this song for one reason. Every time we went up to St. Anne's Centre, I remember an old gentleman down up there, Collie the Coast. And Collie was a fisherman for 55 years, so he knew what he was talking about. He went to Newfoundland, and he was talking to an old fellow, and the old fellow said, "That story is true. It's true. The old fellow told me. I was at the tavern, and he told me." So, anyway, and I think Hubert likes this song too. So, Hubert, this is for you, and it's called "The Loss of the Marion." G. In 1915, on the 10th day of June, at Burke's Wharf, the Marion lay, prepared for the banks as was custom to do, all loaded with capelin for bait. The winds from the northwest, a fine summer breeze, as Ike Jones from St. Jackie's steer. And the boys in the forecastle made plans for that night, when they'd all go to shore in St. Pierre. Some were uneasy, they'd be troubled, they said, 'cause Ike Jones was noted to fight. And at the cafe, the friends on the last trip he made, a Frenchman that threatened his life. The challenge to fight was issued that night, while cheap French liquor ran free. The French captain then warned the Marion's men he would answer their challenge at sea. Next day the Marion set sail again, and so to the story relayed. The French beam trawler weighed anchor as well, and followed close by in her wake. She's a fortune-based schooner sailing out from St. Jack, with a fine crew of Fortune Bay men. But some on the Cape were rumored to say she'll never be heard from again. The fate that befell the Marion crew and her schooner will never be known. Not a trace or a tiding would ever again be heard by those waiting at home. Some say the Frenchman was true to his word, some say he confessed before he died, that he scuttled the Marion and settled the debt, not taking one man or the side. Families of Skinners and Dallas and Miles grieve for their loved ones on shore. But the Newfoundland stories of lost to the sea was told as so often before. She's a fortune-based schooner sailing out from St. Jack, with a fine crew of Fortune Bay men. But never no more will she pass by the light, with her jib flapping into the wind. No, never no more will she
the light with her tip flapping into the wind.
Thank you. So far, so good. I'll drink to that. Anyway, the next 4 songs that we're going to do are songs with stories in them. And the first one that we're going to do it relates to a song called Sonny's Dream. Oh, about, 5 years ago, Leon, we went over to see Evans and Doherty over in Port Hawkesbury. And if you ever get a chance to go see Evans and Doherty, they're great. They're probably the best act I've ever seen of stories and songs. But anyway, Kevin Evans is PEI, and he was saying that he had become friends with Ron Hines over in Newfoundland. But anyway, he went over to Newfoundland this day, and Ron was playing at one of the taverns over on George Street. And sitting with them at the time was a fellow by the name of Hiram Imlock. He was a Scotchman. And anyway, as Ron was singing the song Sonny's Dream, he was copying down the words and copying down the music. So after the evening, after giving Ron a few hops, he got all the words and he got all the lyrics to the song. So he took that to Scotland, and taking it to Scotland, he asked Ron if he could record it. But true to Irish and Scottish tradition, in a song, somebody has to die. So they wrote an extra verse to the song, and Ron didn't know anything about this verse. So anyway, there was this lady by the name of Chrissy Black. She recorded the song, and it sold hundreds of thousands of copies in Scotland. And then a lady by the name of Mary Moore, she had an album, and this album that she recorded in Ireland was the biggest selling album ever in Ireland. So they sold quite a few of Ron Hines' record. But it wasn't until a lady by the name of Emmylou Harris recorded the song that Ron Hines found out that there was an extra verse in the song without his permission. So he was pretty upset. So he called the record company, and the demands that he was making of the record company was nothing short of phenomenal, because he wanted every record back. He wanted them taken off the shelf. So the guy said, Ron, we can't do that. Simply cannot do that. But he said, I'm going to be in St. John's next week. You and I will sit down. So true to his word, the following week, the guy went to St. John's, sat down with Ron, and Ron was still hopping of them changing their song. So after a little while, the guy reached in his pocket. He handed Ron a little piece of paper. Ron opened it up, and it was a check, I think, for, let's say, $150,000 to $200,000. Ron looked at the check, looked at the guy, looked at the guy, looked at the check. He said, you know what? That song is not really all that bad with that extra verse in it. So anyway, to sing the song now, Sonny's Dream, Leon LeBlanc.
Sonny lived on the farm, on the wide open space. You can take off your sneakers and give up the race. You can lay down your head by a sweet riverbed. Sonny always remembered what it was his mama said. Old Sonny carries a load, though he's barely a man. There's not a lot to do till he does what he can, and he watches the sea from the room by the stairs, and the waves, they keep rolling. They've done that for years. Go, folks. Oh, Sonny, don't go away. I am here all alone, and your daddy's a sailor who never comes home. And the night gets so long, and the silence goes on, and I'm feeling so tired, not all that strong. Well, it's 100 miles to town. Sonny's never been there. And he goes to the highway and stands there and stares. And the mail comes at 4. And the mailman is old, but he still dreams his dream full of silver and gold. But Sonny's dreams can't be real. They're just stories he's read. They're just stars in his eyes. They're just dreams in his head. And he's hungry inside for the wild world outside. But I know I can hold him. Tried and I've tried and I've tried. Let's go, folks. Sonny, don't go away. I am here all alone. And your daddy's a sailor who never comes home. And the night gets so long, and the silence goes on, and I'm feeling so tired, not all that strong. Oh, Sonny, don't go away. Woo. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Alan. Great job.
I don't think Lorna was singing up there.
Who?
Lorna.
Lorna.
Is she here?
He's hiding in the corner.
Anyway, over the years, you people probably have heard that Newfoundlanders have been voted the friendliest people in Canada for years upon years. And this was really, really exemplified on September the 11th of 2001 when terrorists flew 2 aircrafts in the Twin Towers of World Trade Center in New York. And the entire United States was shut down. But over in Gander, there was 38 passenger aircrafts that landed there that couldn't go anywhere. In those 38 aircrafts, there were over 6,000 people, plus a crew of 450. So that was a tremendous amount of people in a small little town. But the towns of Gander, Lewisport, and one of my favorite little towns, Norris Arm, kicked into action, and they took in these people. They opened their arms, their hearts, and their homes. And these people from the United States, well, from all over the world actually, will never forget what Newfoundlanders did for them. And to this day, on September the 11th, they remember that particular part of it because of the fact that Newfoundlanders were so kind to them. And but I remember a little story. We went to Lewisport at the co-op there in Lewisport, and I was looking for, excuse me, a small little article, and this fellow came around. Can I help you, bye? Yeah, I'm looking for it. So anyway, he started talking, and before his sentence was over, he had invited me over for dinner, so so that was pretty good. So anyway, to exemplify this show, Jacques is going to do No Price Tags on the Doors in Newfoundland.
Surrounded by the mighty sea, there's a land so dear to me. Described as a place of rugged sand. And many men has found, and the world let you down. There's no price tags on the doors of Newfoundland. There's a welcome on the breeze, blowing inland from the sea. Most folks find it hard to understand. And it's just to let you know that no matter where you go, there's no price tags on the doors of Newfoundland. I'll raise your glasses, raise to me, to an island in the sea, where friendship is the word they understand. That you'll never be alone when you're in a no-free home. There's no price tags on the doors of Newfoundland. There will always be a chair and a table for you there. They'll share what they have with any man. And you don't have to worry, friend, 'cause your pocketbook is thin. There's no price tags on the doors of Newfoundland. Now raise your glasses, raise to me, to the island in the sea, where friendship is the word they understand. That you'll never be alone when you're in a Newfie home. There's no price tags on the doors of Newfoundland. There's no price tags on the doors of Newfoundland. Thank you.
Good job. You know, in March of 1995, I was just off the 200-mile limit of Canada's 200-mile limit. There was a tremendous amount of overfishing by basically the European fleets, and the Canadian government warned that this had to stop. So they gave a warning to the European nations that if any of the vessels were caught fishing in this zone, a zone that had been destroyed and overfished to the point where the species had disappeared, that they would board the ship, arrest them, and tow the ship into St. John's. And on March the 4th, on March the 12th of 1995, the Canadian Coast Guard spotted this Spanish trawler there in that zone. And anyway, they chased that trawler for 4 hours. Finally, they fired 4 rounds of .50 caliber machine gun on its bow, and that was the way that they stopped this trawler. They boarded the trawler, arrested the captain, and towed the vessel to St. John's. Now, to tell us about this little story, Mr. Bill Richards. And that's a true story.
He looked down. He looked down into his cod traps, said, "My God, where have they gone?" He threw his arms up in despair. His cod traps he had none. He looked out over the raging foam, just in time to see 7 Spanish trawlers heading out to open sea. They were 7 Spanish trawlers, they were fishing in the sun. The Spanish, they caught all the fish, the Newfies, they got none. When the clouds appeared and the fog rolled in, the sun no longer shines. And 7 Spanish trawlers took all the codfish home. Then O'Brien sent a letter off to Fraser in Ottawa. Say, you fellas better do something for breaking our fishing law. Then the government quickly, they dispatched the good Canadian control. And they board the Spanish trawlers and they take them back to port. They were 7 Spanish trawlers, they were fishing in the sun. The Spanish, they caught all the fish, the Newfies, they caught none. When the clouds appeared and the fog rolled in, the sun no longer shines. And 7 Spanish trawlers took all the codfish home. Then all the Spanish trawlers took all the codfish home.
First time I heard that song, I thought it was a funny song, but I never related it to this story. But anyway, In 1949, Newfoundland was the last province to join Confederation here in Canada, and they elected a gentleman by the name of Joey Smallwood. And Joey Smallwood, one of his ideas was to move or to close as many outports as he possibly could. Between 1954 and 1975, there was 300 outports that were closed in Newfoundland, over 300. The number of people that were moved in that was over 30,000 people. The people that moved didn't want to move. They were set in their ways. This was the place that they were born. This was the place that they lived. This was the place that they loved. And they were forced to move. When they first started in 1954, they were offered $150 to move. Now, can you imagine being offered $150 to move? But they raised that to $600 in between 1954 and 1975. I have good friends of mine that live in Lewisport, Roy and Vida Moyles. And Vida was just a young lady when they were forced to move from a place called Indian Islands. And actually, her and her dad and her sisters and her brothers never actually left. Their hearts always stayed there on Indian Islands. And to this day, even last summer we were talking to Vida, and her heart is still in Indian Islands. So Vida and Roy, if you're watching, hi from Cape Breton. But just to give you a little idea of the changes, there's another place called Harbour Deeps. And Harbour Deeps is on the northern peninsula of Newfoundland. It's between St. Anthony, the Newfoundlanders would pronounce it St. Anthony. It's between St. Anthony and Jackson Arm, and it's a very mountainous area. And in 2005, the Newfoundland government decided that they were going to close that outport. And the people that were there were offered between $80,000 and $100,000 to move. So that was quite a difference from $600 to $100,000. So, and still, people didn't want to move, but finally they closed her down in 2005. So the song I'm going to do for you is called Outport People. It's a Seminole song. Ready? On D.
They're outport people with outport ways, but there's nowhere to use them, and now it's too late. And they curse on the one who uttered the phrase, resettlement now while resettlement pays. He sits on the dock and he looks across the way, and he watches his memories as they pass on the waves, and he wonders what cards fate might have dealt, and he told those officials to go straight to hell. Don't take command from the life that he grew, and tear up his roots and expect him to grow. 'Cause if he's unwillingly forced to decide, he'll go without leaving and never arrive. He spits on a log and the memories roll. The spring sun is shining, there's a lop in the cove, and the shoreline is dotted with lobster pot boys, and his boat full of weeds, and there's tears in his eyes. You can launch a house easy and tow it away, but the home doesn't move, it continues to stay. And the dollars you'll make sure they'll keep you alive, but they don't suit the heart and they can't ease the mind. But you can't take a man from the soil where he grew, unless you know how to solace his mind when you do. And for God's sakes, don't say how much greener's the grass, 'cause those uprooted people are to weather too fast. Don't take a man from the life that he knows and tear up his roots and expect him to grow. 'cause if he's unwillingly forced to decide, he'll go without leaving and never arrive. He'll go without leaving and never arrive. Just think of the words of that song. He'll go without leaving and never arrive. You can take a man from the soil that he grew, lest you solace his mind. You imagine now the words. It's amazing. Anyway, we're going to continue, and Leon is going to do Callaway Girls.
But before I do that, I know out there in Calgary, there's a little girl on an iPad saying, "Hi, Pepe. Hi, Pepe. Hi, Ellie. Hi, Ellie. Pepe, love you." She did that the last time I was here. It was cute to see. Cable 5 on.
You're on your own.
Well, I took a stroll, an old long walk, day-a-hey-a-hey. And I met a little girl and we stopped to talk, God, no day-a-hey. And I asked you, friend, what's a fella do? 'Cause her hair was black and her eyes were blue. I knew right then I was taking a twirl from the sawmill crown of the Galway girl. Oh, yeah! We were halfway home. The rain came down. Hey, and I took her up to a flat downtown, Grand South Day, hey. I asked you, friend, what's a fella do? 'Cause her hair was black and her eyes were blue. I took her hand and I gave her a twirl, and I lost my heart to a Galway girl. Well, when I woke up, all alone, day-a-hey, with a broken heart and a ticket home, day-a-hey. I ask you now, tell me what will I do if her hair was black and her eyes were blue? I've traveled around and all over this world. Boy, I ain't seen nothing with a Galway girl. Oh, Mr. Burns! Thank you.
And now Jacques is going to do The Little Boats of Newfoundland.
When the little boats go out to sea in the shores of Newfoundland, God, do me a favor, guide them with your hand, protect them from the dangers and the fury of the sea. For the little boat of Newfoundland, Lord, means the world to me. Now my mama told me a story when I was just a boy about the little boats of Newfoundland. Sometimes made me cry. Well, she told me of the hardships and the dangers of the sea that will remain until I die in my memory. Now brave men, she says, that's what they are, who face the icy winds, not knowing when reach that southern cold, they might never come back again. Then a tear came to my eye as she held my tiny hand, and since the proudest thing on earth is those little boats of Newfoundland. When those little boats go out to sea in the shores of Newfoundland, God, do me a favor, guide them with your hand, protect them from the dangers and the fury of the sea. For the little boat of Newfoundland, Lord, means the world to me. Yes, those little boats of Newfoundland, Lord, means the world to me. Thank you.
Now at this time we're going to ask Bill over there to do another song, Labrador Rose. He's all in a sweat.
Well, there's sweat.
You'll have more sweat than that when you swim back to Canso.
I ventured to walk one early May morning through the dew on the ground as the sun shines her beam. I spied a wild rose growing there on the mountain, and my heart skipped a beat o'er the vision I seen. In the flower I saw the face of my darling. It pities her hair, it just perfumes her smile. The stem of her rose was her body so slender, as it reached out for life from the rich mountain soil. Oh, Labrador Rose, you're the rarest of flowers, has blossomed and grown by the cold northern stream. For the rest of my life I will stay here beside you. Oh, Labrador Rose, you are one living dream. Each morning I walk through the dew and the sunshine, for to be with my flower that grows on the moor. There's nothing around to compare with her beauty. Oh, flowers so fair, you be mine evermore. Oh, Labrador Rose, you're the rarest of flowers, has blossomed and grown by the cold northern stream. For the rest of my life I will stay here beside you. Oh, Labrador Rose, you are one living dream. Oh, Labrador Rose, you are one living dream.
Wow. Good job, Bill. Great job. You know, over the years, pretty well everybody in our area has had somebody that has worked over in Fort McMurray. And I remember going up to the motel, and Brenda used to come over there, and her husband was going to Fort McMurray, and he was leaving the poor lady all alone. God love her. Anyway, we used to sing her this song, and it's called Catch a Plane to Fort McMurray. On G. Are you ready?
Right.
All I do all day is dream about you and watch young lovers strolling in the park. At times I feel that you're right here beside me. Would you believe I got a broken heart? So I think I'll catch a plane to Port McMurray. I can't face this, you and I apart. Well, I never thought I'd ever leave this island, 'cause only you can mend this broken heart. Long. I lay awake all night and dream about you, staring at your picture in the dark. Since you left, nothing seems to matter. No doubt about it, I got a broken heart. So I think I'll catch a plane to Port McMurray. I can't face this, you and I apart. Well, I never thought I'd ever leave this island, 'cause only you can mend this broken heart. Yes, I think I'll catch a plane to Port McMurray, 'cause only you can mend this broken heart. Thank you.
Okay, we're down to pretty well our last 4 songs. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with Leon, and Leon is going to sing, what are you going to sing, Leon? Saltwater Cowboy. A Newfie's a Newfie. Johnny, you help. Johnny, put your sou'wester on and come up and mend some nets for us, buddy.
Gotta tell you, every time that we played in various functions in the community, the late Freeman Skinner would come up to me and says, "Hey, Leon, would you sing a Newfie's a Newfie for me?" God bless your heart, Freeman, on D. Es-tu parlé, toi?
My note said Saltwater Cowboy.
What did I say?
That's what it is, Saltwater Cowboy.
Saltwater Cowboy.
You don't even know the name of the song.
My note said Saltwater.
Here comes the Saltwater Cowboy now.
A Newfie's a Newfie wherever he goes. It don't seem to matter the cut of the clothes, gleam in his eyes and the way that he walks. True Newfie tone is the way that he walks. By the Lord, dying by the thunder and G, how are you doing, you son of a bee? Can't fool your old man by dressing like that, but you're still just that Newfie in the Calgary hat. Over the years when the things weren't the best, a lot of the fellas headed for west. Everyone know that they ain't gonna stay. They'll always come back up a long way. No one suspected we'd ever have oil. The Newfies took off for Alberta a while, traded their rubber and southwester cap for rodeo boots and that Calgary hat. By the Lord, dying by the thunder and G, how are you doing, you son of a bee? Can't fool your old man by dressing like that, but you're still just that Newfie and the Calgary hat. Saltwater cowboy is new, you'll agree. It seems we've created a new kind of breed. With our hats and our song and our talk about oil, would even talk Newfie with a South Texas style. By the Lord, dying by the thunder and G, how are you doing, you son of a bee? Can't fool your old man by dressing like that, but you're still just that Newfie in the Calgary hat. Yes, you're still just that Newfie in the Calgary hat. Thank you very much.
I got to waste a little. Just a little story to that song.
You got her done, John.
Johnny, you got her done. You got her all fixed. Did you find the beer, John? Didn't find the beer yet. A little story to that song. We have friends of ours. They're from one is from Lewisport and the other one is from Norris Arm. But anyway, Jean and Terry Connors. Jean went to Calgary. She was doing some courses for. She used to work for the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, CIBC, and she went over to Calgary to do a course there. But when she came back, she had a hat, Newfoundland, or a Calgary cowboy hat. And of course, we were all around the campsite, and she was strutting around the campsite. And you couldn't believe what she looked like with the hat on. But anyway, she was strutting around. So I was saying to myself, now I gotta do something for Jean. So anyway, I wrote this little to this song, and it goes like this. Now CIBC sent Jean out on a quest. She left Nova Scotia to conquer the West. When she got back in a week after that, Jean was sporting a Calgary hat. With her nose in the air and a hat on her head, she's walking around like a bird on a ledge. She really thinks that she is a cool cat, but she's still just a Newfie in a Calgary hat. And she got a great kick out of that. So, Jean. Okay, now we're going to turn over to Jacques, and he's going to do
This Land
is Your Land.
And with this song, everybody should help. This is a good, fun song. So try to help. This land is your land. This land is my land. From Bonavista Vista to Vancouver Island. From the Arctic Circle to the Great Lake waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. Everybody! This land is your land. This land is my land. From Bonavista Vista to Vancouver Island. From the Arctic Circle to the Great Lake waters, this land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled and followed my footsteps to the Parklands waters of the Mountie Mountain, and all around me a voice kept calling. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From Bonavista Vista to Vancouver Island. From the Arctic Circle to the Great Lake waters. This land was made for you and me. Now the sun was shining and I was strolling. The wheat fields swaying, the clouds rolling. As the fog was lifting, the voice was shining. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From Bonavista Vista to Vancouver Island, from the Arctic Circle to the Great Lake waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. Thank you.
And now, Bill, it's your turn again. It seems that every fourth time that you have to sing, right? Anyway, Bill is going to give us a song called Seaman's Last Trip.
I'm sailing today, mother darling, for my ship it lies waiting for me. So I'll kiss you goodbye as I'm leaving. I'll miss you while I'm out to sea. Where the ship it set sail from the harbor, I was born for the Labrador tide. And around each neck a war gold locket with a dear mother's picture inside. So brush your tears from your eyes, mother darling. Don't worry, 'cause I'm doing fine. Keep the light burning bright in my window, for I'll be home in 14 days' time. Now the young man was proud and courageous, and his ship ain't the seas bound to tie. For to fish in those north icy waters takes a man to stand tall as the sky. Bitter wind it blew with that season, for the captain fished on through the storm. And a rough wave washed the young seaman over, and was lost beneath the dark raging foam. They found his still form the next morning, as the sun from a moment did shine. In his hands he held a gold locket with his dear mother's picture inside. Now a great seaman's grave is sad mother, nightly weep in prayer. Keep the light burning bright in my window, till we're both called together up there. Keep the light burning bright in my window, so we're both called together up there.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, what we did here tonight is very, very common around this area. And we have a tremendous amount of friends, you guys included, and hopefully we have music. And we're going to do this song now. It's a song by Seaman called Music and Friends, and we want to dedicate this to you guys as our friends. So here we go. On D. I've done a lot of living, and I've found no matter where you go the old world round, they always go together hand in hand. Where there's one there'll be the other, music and friends.
When blue sky turns to gray and hide the sun, when tired hands their daily work has done, nothing seems to turn things round again and make the whole world like music and friends. Music and friends. It's so good to be together, music and friends. Side by side, no one can break them when we take the time to make them.
when blue skies turn to gray and hide the sun, when tired hands their daily work has done, nothing seems to turn things round again and make the whole world right like music and friends.
Go, folks.
Music and friends. It's so good to bring together music and friends. Side by side, no one can break them when we take the time to make them. Nothing else can make the break for music and friends. Nothing makes the whole world right like music and friends. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of our program. We hope that you had a great evening, and we want to thank you, our studio audience, for being here. Our viewing audience, we couldn't put the show on without you. We'd certainly like to hear from you, and you guys in the audience, leave your comments here. Contact us at 226-1928, or write us at telail@telail.tv. Give us your opinion of our show, and because this is our only gauge of whether or not we're doing a good job here. We want to thank Telail for sponsoring us this month. They did a great job. So, Cora, to you and your staff and the boards of directors, thank you very much for sponsoring us. A special thank you to our sound man and our producer, Mike German. Without Mike, this wouldn't be possible because he does a terrific job on the sound. So, Mike, thank you so much. Our camera crew, Howard Sleep, and Robin Barnes. So, by the way, Robin is, we talked about Rex being son of Captain Jim Barnes, and he's got two brothers here tonight, David and Alvin. And Robin is a grandson of Jim Barnes, so it's a pretty special evening for them fellows too. And Wallen, thank you so much. You always do a great job. Cora, our floor director, you're awesome. You do a great job, and of course, none of this would be possible without Arjel. She is just one fantastic lady. Our next program is on live on November the 16th at 7:30 here after the bingo. You know, ladies and gentlemen, we put on the show, but none of it would be possible without the people that you see around this area. Rex, Leon, Wayne, Alex, Shock, and Bill. You guys have been terrific. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Had a lot of fun.
We on behalf of the staff here, we're going to present you all with a shirt from Telail, from East Coast Spotlight, and we can't express enough thanks to you guys for coming here tonight. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think that any Newfie night would be complete without doing this song. I don't think that I've ever gone to anything with Newfoundlanders that this song wasn't sung. So we're going to sing it for you tonight. Hope you enjoy it. And again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a great evening. You know, it don't seem like Christmas without the mummers. Granny would say as she sat in her chair. You know, things have gone modern. I guess that's the cause. Because Christmas is not like it was. Any mummers loud in?
Hark, what that noise out by the porch door. Granny, there's mummers, there's 20 or more. Their old weathered face brightened up with a grin. Any mummers, nice mummers loud in.
lovely mummers, don't bother to snow. We can wipe up the water sure after you go. Well, sit if you can, or on some mummer's knee. Let's see if we know who you be.
There's big ones and small ones and tall ones and thins. Boys dressed as women and girls dressed as men. Hump on their back with their rings on their feet. My blessed will die with the heat.
Okay, Rex.
There's only one there that you think you should know. There's grandfather starting alongside the snow. He's shaking his head to make me not tell. It was Billy from out on the hill.
Now that one's a stranger, if there's ever was one, with his underwear stuffed and his strap door undone. Is he wearing his mother's big 42 bra? I know, but I'm not gonna say.
Don't suppose you find mummers would turn down a drop, nor homebrew or alky, whatever you got. Not the one with his rubber boots on the wrong feet, and got to do in the week.
Okay, Leon.
Suppose they would dance, they nodded their head, they're tapping their feet ever since they came in. Now that the drinks have all been passed around, the mummers, they're planking them down.
Hold on to the lamb, be careful the soul. Don't even know, cause she know where she's old. Need to care, for you buckle the floor, cause the mummers have danced here before.
My God, how hot it is, we better know. I know we'll all get the devil's own soul. Good night and good Christmas, me mummers, me dear. Me God, we will see you next year. Good night and good Christmas, me mummers, me dear. Please God, we will see you next year.
Let's thank our mummers.
Thank the mummers.
Tellil Community Television would like
Okay,
to thank
thank
our
you, guys.
host, Jerry Sampson, producer Michael Jarman, our camera crew, our live audience, our business sponsors, and of course, our audience. East Coast Spotlight is aired the third Wednesday of each month at 7:30 p.m. with a feature artist and a few special guests. If you would like to be in the studio audience, please phone Tellil Community Television at 902-226-1928. We'll see you next month for East Coast Spotlight.